everyone, and welcome back to AustinPlus commentary, where today we are talking about Dreamworks, but in 2025. So for those who don't know, you probably do, but Dreamworks are the people that produce movies like Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, and The Bad Guys, and Kung Fu Panda. All of these are iconic in terms of like cinema and iconic cartoons for kids, and Dreamworks are still going on and thriving. So we wanted to ask the question, what is Dreamworks doing in 2025? We did this with Warner Brothers, now let's see what Dreamworks are up to. So last year, Dreamworks only actually published two projects, or two movies as well. So first of all was The Wild Robot, a movie about a robot that came to life after several years, and it was dormant, and befriended many animals and ended up migrating while the robot was back to being lonely. However, it wasn't as successful as Kung Fu Panda 4. It wasn't the best Kung Fu Panda film, especially in my opinion, but it was still good, and I did enjoy it nonetheless. You can't really beat the first movie of Kung Fu Panda. Let's be real, but Kung Fu Panda was the more successful out of the two. So last year, DreamWorks actually made $336 million at the box office with both of these movies, Kung Fu Panda and The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot was rated the 25th highest grossing film of all of the year. The Orient and the Dark was also released on Netflix as well as in cinemas because DreamWorks were not as faithful in this very movie. Megamind was an underlying project and was only released for the producers so that they would understand the demand for Megamind 2. Megamind 2 has been something that has been asked for years, so kind of makes sense. And Kung Fu Panda made it into the top 10. Now, as we've recapped 2024, it is now to move on to 2025. There are only 3 things that have actually officially been released, and it's all that we're going to get this year. So the first one was Dogman, released in January, a reiteration on the Dogman comics, also in the same universe as Captain Underpants. Recently released, and it was a very creative idea, especially inspiring off that, but it's also one of those movies that the plot is so generic and predictable, it can be a bit boring. However, it still does stay true to the actual book. It is a good kids film. I didn't personally see it, but even from the trailer, you could tell what was happening, and I've read the books as younger, so I kind of knew what was going on. Secondly was How to Train Your Dragon, or the live-action version. So it was an amazing film, completely very good, close to the the original How to Train Your Dragon, and it is good because of how near and dear it is to my heart, because I love How to Train Your Dragon, and the movie does really cover all bases. Yes, it's about half an hour longer, but it's still very good nonetheless. Now, the last one is The Bad Guys 2. Now, Bad Guys was a very successful film when it came out because it was a film that wasn't exactly, not a lot of people knew it, but also everyone knew who the voice actors were. That's why it was really popular. But The Bad Guys 2 is kind of a reiteration of how the bad guys went good, but they are still going back to their old ways, but it's still just to be comedic. I did like the first one. Even now, as nearly 17 years old, I think it was still good. But The Bad Guys 2 also does look good as well. I think the idea of them going good will come to bite them in the ass a bit, but I think they're really good comedy films. I think the voice actors really do help it as well. Now, there's a good question of how consistent they are with the likes of these movies. Now, there was only 3 released this year, and there's only 2 that was released last year. Ideally, next year you release 4. But you can't promise that. So DreamWorks, I would say they are relatively consistent between 1 to 3 per year, but their success is still consistent nonetheless. With all these 3 movies, they are making more than they did last year, but $336 million for DreamWorks. Yes, that's nowhere near as much as they used to make, but they don't produce as much. So that's still pretty good. Out of 2 films, that's pretty decent. Knowing how To Train Your Dragon did, I definitely think it will do better. But Dogman, I don't think will have done that as good. And then The Bad Guys 2, it will probably do the same, if not less than How to Train Your Dragon, depending on how successful they each were in their own respect. But it's an ongoing question if DreamWorks is a dying production or a dying franchise. Now, I think that's a misconception because a lot of people think that it is. I think that's a misconception because, yes, they don't release as much, but they also produce other movies that are by other industries. But they are still amazing films nonetheless. They don't release as much, no, but they are still good. I would say they need to release a tiny bit more. Maybe say, I don't know if this is possible, but say 3 to 4 a year. I mean, 3 is still pretty good, but 3 to 4 is bearable, and I can see where people get the dying idea, but they are still making success. But we've already got How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action been confirmed, so I don't think it's dying at all. So the things that have been confirmed for future is there's actually quite a fair bit. So I didn't know Trolls was actually a part of DreamWorks, but it kind of makes sense now. So Trolls 4 has been confirmed along with Shrek 5, Boss Baby 3, I don't know how they're going to do that, Madagascar 4 and Kung Fu Panda 5. Again, don't know how they're going to do that, but we'll see. We'll see what it holds. But everyone, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. And without further ado, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye!
Yeah!